Especially now more than ever, everybody needs to think about prepping. There's just shitstorm swirling around out there.
Hey now, yeah! Condensation running heavy on the iron skin. Another lay-by sunrise, letting the diesel in. Salt on the tarmac, got that fire in our soul. Yeah, we're the non-lost souls, taking back control.
Well, good morning guys. So, another day. We've got to start working on the door. So first of all, from the bits of pallet I broke up the other day, I'm going to now start sanding that and hopefully start fixing it and get it into place and see what it looks like. Let's go.
Okay, as I mentioned in the previous video, let's talk about prepping. Now, we've always talked that we are preppers, and I think, especially now more than ever, everybody needs to think about prepping and not just putting away dried food in tins. That's just common sense to do that. But I also think you need to really think about your water system. Now, this just doesn't apply to people who live in vans or vehicles. This applies to everybody if you live in a house or whatever. Obviously, I'm not talking to self-sufficient people here because you're already on it. But I'm talking about mainly people who live in vans. How to deal with prepping. And I guess many of you know how to prep. I'm not here to be a school teacher and give you lessons about it. I'm just telling you what we do. So the main thing for us is our solar. So we've got electricity. Obviously we're going to be installing a log burner this year, so we have a free source of heat and we have somewhere to cook. Obviously we have a little fire pit, so if we need to cook outside, we would be cooking outside if we had no other source. But it got me thinking, obviously you all know that we want to do a water system on our roof. We have a water filtration machine, so we can go and get water from a puddle, a dirty puddle, and get that into fresh drinking water. But I've also bought some tablets, water tablets, that you can pop into 5 litres of water. I think you have to use, one tablet is 1 litre of water, which purifies the water enough for you to be able to drink if you want to, or I would continue to boil that water. So if you're collecting rainwater and that's your only source, you can get these little tablets. They were cheap as chips, less than a fiver for 40. I think you can get 100 for a little bit more, but I just picked up a little packet because we do have a water system that we can use, and we are building our own water filter collection on the roof. So as well as your normal batteries you need to have, torches you need to have, I think one of the torches that go on your head is a really good idea because it leaves your hands free. We have fairy lights a lot, so we need batteries for that. We have solar, so obviously we're self-sufficient that way. Until winter comes, that could be an issue. Like I said, a log burner. And then I'm thinking you'll probably need medication, so make sure you've got plenty of medication and toiletries, toilet roll, but don't go nuts and do the COVID thing. You know, a tank of diesel somewhere put away. Always have, no matter how you cook, unless you are on a fire and you've got a burner. We also, as well as our gas cooker, and we'll have the log burner, and we can cook outside, we also have a camping stove. So we always make sure we've got a pack of gas as well, which are pretty cheap to buy. I think they're like a fiver for 4. So we've always got that as a backup. And dog food. We always make sure we've got a thing of dog food. And dried ingredients like herbs. And, you know, like casserole packets that you could buy. Stock up on stuff like that because, and salt. Because if something happens and you don't want bland food, like cooking up rice and peas isn't very nice, but if you've got some salt and you've got some herbs, you know, you can make that into a really nice tasty meal. But yeah, I thought, oh, also Mark from Roads Home, he talks a lot about prepping and talking about things like that, so completely on the same wavelength as our mate Mark. But also he has a bow and arrow, and I really want a bow and arrow, because even though I wouldn't go out hunting animals because I'm vegan, but if the worst case scenario happens, I still wouldn't kill the animal. I think I'd just get roadkill. It's good for protection more than anything. You know, it's a deterrent. Like I said, I'm a fan of The Walking Dead. You never know what's going to happen, and it's you or them. So I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm not here to make you all run out and stockpile and go crazy in the shops. Like I mentioned before, stock up on seeds. Make sure you've got a nice little collection of seeds, so if something happens in a year or two, you've got a batch of seeds, just in case you can't get them. I think that's it really. It's just making sure that you've got also we've got about 20 litres in sealed containers that we literally bought from a supermarket, so they're not opened. We do rotate it, so now and again we might have to use one, but we'll buy another one. That is as a backup if, God forbid, we couldn't even get any water, or our water is really badly poisoned. It's enough just to get her through the next few days and hope for rain. But yeah, oh God, I sound like an apocalyptic scaremongering person now. But yeah, I thought again, it's not that I guess we are all jumping on what's going on. It's just that it's leading from the seed situation and me growing some veg, and then talking about what I spoke about in the last one about being able to wild plant food. And then I guess I thought, well, let's talk about the prepping side of it and what we prep, and maybe some of you guys didn't think of getting some, you know, tablets for the water to make sure you could drink water, and you know, making sure you're stocked up on your medication. It's just, you don't need like months worth. You just need enough just in case that food or stuff can't get through for a month. You just need something to be able to tide you over, and cash. You should all be carrying cash anyway, because we all know cash is king, but we should all be carrying a small amount of cash as well, because they try to use the old digital system with us, and you can't buy anything unless you've got cash. And anybody in a shop that turns around and says to you, we don't take cash, well then you don't shop there. But it's a legal tendency, and by law, I believe, if I'm wrong, leave me a comment, they have to take your cash. I know I did read of one Aldi's gentleman who went in to buy some food, and they said refused his cash, and he just left the cash on the counter and he walked out with his goods. So yeah, cash as well. There's probably stuff I've forgotten, so you know, we have got a great little community here, and it's all about helping each other and sharing ideas. So if you guys have any great ideas, any great tips, just drop a comment, and you know, let's help each other out. Let's not be hiding stuff and going, well, I do this, they don't know about it, so I'm going to be all right, sort of thing. It's like, let's take care of each other. There's just shitstorm swirling around out there, and we need each other more than ever now, I believe. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else really. Cleaning products, I guess. Make sure you got an extra bottle of washing up liquid, you know, shampoo, body lotion, whatever it is you wash yourself with. Coffee. You need to make sure you've got a good stock of coffee and sugar, or honey. You know, honey is a good source of energy and sugar, and that never goes out of date. So, and like I said, your normal dried foods and tins, and just rotate them. Remember to just keep an eye on them, I write down in a notebook everything we've got, and then if we run out of something, I'll take it from our little stockpile, but I'll put it back. I'll buy 2 the next time, I'll put 1 back, I'll check the dates and everything, make sure they're not, if they're 2 out of date, we'll use them, and then we'll just replace and rotate. I'm just trying to think what else there is. I said cash. Make sure you've got plenty of stuff that will keep you warm. You can go and forage your wood, so you know you can always build a fire. So you need to make sure you've got matches or lighters. Make sure you've got a good stock of lighters and matches. We've got a little brilliant little camping thing, survival kit, and it's got an axe on it, it's got a knife on it, it's got a flint on it, it's got everything you need to survive if you're in the middle of nowhere. So like I said, it's a little tool with an axe, a flint, a knife, and there's some other bits. It's got 15 in one thing. It's really good. It's a really good little survival kit. And like I said, I really want a crossbow. I definitely want a crossbow, or I want to be able to make a bow and arrow. Yeah, got that. Oh, and the CB again, that's come from Mark from Road Zone. That's a good little thing to have, a CB radio, or walkie-talkies I should say, and some sort of like a crossbow, because I guess if some of you that are meat eaters might need to go out and source your protein from some source like that. Fair play to you. I can't ever imagine having to take a little furry being's life to survive, but I'm not saying I wouldn't if I had to. Yeah, so yeah, I'm probably all over the place because I've jumped from one video that I've just put out and thought I'll quickly do this one. I'm about to go out and take the dog out, and as you can probably hear Steve banging away. He's splitting all the pallets apart. I've been talking far too long. This video is now 11 minutes long, and you've probably whizzed ahead and got bored already. But yeah, drop us a comment, guys. Any other brilliant, amazing ideas that I haven't mentioned or nobody else has mentioned, and you think, oh man, you need to have this. So yeah, start prepping, guys, if you haven't already. Can you see that pigeon on top of that lamp post? Well, just in that tree, him and his missus have been building a nest. Over the last 24 hours, I've clocked them. So while I'm here, I shall be their guardian and make sure nothing untoward happens to them. And if I can, and I'm not disturbing the nest, I will try and get a picture or some footage. There he goes. I've been watching him go to that bush there, get his little sticks and go back up there, and then I've seen the other one making a nest.
Hey guys, so the door is coming on really well. Really happy with it so far. So there it is. There is the door. Got a couple more pieces to go in. It's one whole piece and like a tiny little cut all the way down the middle, and then do the header, and then I've got new hinges now, so I can put the window frame back in. Well, it's different since I've seen it. I put polythene on it just so if any rain does get through there, it's protected so it doesn't come inside. We haven't gone down the tongue groove route like some people do, so what I've got is basically about a 2mm gap here, so I allow for any sort of expansion, and if it shrinks a little bit, again it's still going to be all protected behind. So that's the plan anyway. We went and got some more preservative, which is really, really good. It really soaks in. It's a really good oil. And two coats will blitz that. So this is the quality wood protective treatment stuff we got. And as you can see, it's clear. But then when you look on the side, like this, you can get it in a variety of colours. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that back and probably get a colour to see what that looks like. But yeah, this is good quality stuff apparently, and it should protect it for a few years. So we'll give that a go. But what colour should we go for? Yeah, so we've ordered a preservative, and that's coming on Tuesday, I believe. So it gives me time tomorrow to crack on with this, the rest of this, or shopping day, maybe we'll. And then on Tuesday, give it a few coats. Apparently the stuff we're getting is top notch. 2 coats, we'll just soak it straight in, drink it all. Yeah, we got one yesterday from Wix, it was good, but I've seen they've done a colour, and we're going to give that a go, see what it looks like. But yeah, so let's tidy up. Sunday lunch is ready, and my stomach's a rumbling.
Engine humming a gospel on the blacktop highway. Got that wild in my soul, doing things my way. Got this dirt under my nails from the hedgerow's deep roots. Finding my own